Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Macca here, and very recently I just passed a 1,000,000 Gamerscore. Every time I reach a Gamerscore milestone, I make a video just like this one, discussing some of the games that I recently played to get there. Now I am a little bit over 1,000,000 right now, as I played a little bit of Texas Chainsaw Massacre lately, but I'll insert a little bit of a clip here from the stream of when I achieved the milestone. This might be one of the last turns to 1,000,000. Mookie, thank you so much. 1,000,000 Gamerscore, here we come. Thank you everyone for spending this time with me. Let's watch that achievement pop. There we go. Completionist. 1,000,000 Gamerscore unlocked. I guess congratulations to me. I have the whole stream on YouTube if you do want to watch it. I'll leave a link down below as well. But basically, every time I reach a milestone like this, I talk about the games I used to get there. There are going to be like 10 or 15 videos before this, and in this video, I'm only going to talk about the games from 900,000 up to 1,000,000. And this last 100,000 Gamerscore actually took me almost a year and a half to do, which is a lot longer than some of my previous Gamerscore, as I haven't really been playing a lot of easy games lately. I've mostly been playing those kind of quote-unquote harder achievement games, just something I've kind of naturally started gravitating towards as I was burnt out on the easy games that weren't really enjoyable to me for the last little while. Now, I always encourage people to play the way that makes them happy, and what's made me happy lately is just completing the games that I actually enjoy playing, and I've actually been completing a lot of games lately, so let's just get right into the video now and talk about some of those games I've played. Let's ignore the first two, as those games are after the 1,000,000, but the game I used to break 1,000,000 was Trackmania. An incredibly difficult completion, which I actually haven't completed yet. I've played this game probably almost 40 hours now, and as you can see the unlock percentages, it's a pretty hard game to get achievements in, but this is a game that kind of came out on console recently. It's been out on PC for a couple of years. It's a really kind of hardcore like racing game, but it's a time trial based game, and I am a huge sucker for time trial based games. And I just found myself grinding it, trying to get better, trying to climb the leaderboards, trying to unlock achievements, and I had like so much fun playing this game. It is actually free. You don't get a lot of content in the free version. You can pay like $10, I think, a year to unlock like kind of the battle pass or whatever. But there is a free version if you want to try it out and see if it's for you. However, these final two achievements that I don't have are pretty much impossible for the average gamer. I've also gotten the 1,000 out of 1,000 in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I don't know why it doesn't say Modern Warfare 2, but this is the most recent Call of Duty released. And during my 1,000,000 stream, we did get the Veteran achievement, and I got all of the other ones in 2022 when the game kind of originally came out. I covered it with a bunch of videos. I had a lot of fun getting through the campaign and then playing some of the co-op. In terms of my hours, I'm at about 100 hours, but that's mostly because I played a lot of online and Warzone that you don't need. Then we have Sniper Elite 5. This includes the base 1,000 plus one of the DLCs. I don't have the rest of the Gamerscore, as honestly I just didn't feel like buying the other DLCs. So we did finish the base 1,000 during the 1,000,000 stream, which was for grinding out all of the guns and getting all of the medals. Sniper Elite 5 is a pretty cool game. I would highly recommend it. With that being said, there was a little bit of a glitch that allowed you to get the achievement for completing the game on the hardest difficulty, which has now been patched out. So the game is a little bit harder of a completion now than when I originally started playing it. After that, we have Need for Speed Unbound. This is another game that I have the completion in. As you can see, I've been taking completing games kind of seriously lately. In the last 1 or 2 years, I complete about 95% of the games I start, which is something I used to never do. I used to just play games whenever I finished them and didn't feel like playing them. I'd kind of throw them away. So it's more recent that I actually enjoy kind of completing these games. So yeah, this is another game. Took me around 40 hours. This game is now available on Xbox Game Pass, which it wasn't previously. I did most of my playing last year in December. just getting through the career. There are a couple of online achievements that are pretty easy to do. You can boost them as well if you want to with some other people you know. But basically, you have to complete the entire campaign, defeat the final boss, and do the final race. And then you got to find all of the collectibles on the map and complete all of the activities with 3 stars on the map. But as you start playing, you get better and better cars, so the challenges get easier and easier. And if you're able to grind everything out, you end up getting this kind of final achievement for getting all of the collectibles and all 3 stars on all activities to kind of finish off your completion. Heading back out to the menu here, we have Forza Horizon 5, 2265 out of 2265. So that's the base 1000, that's the title update DLCs, that's the rally update DLCs, and everything else in between. Probably at 100 hours in this game easily now, but Forza Horizon's always a fantastic time from start to finish. This game had a couple of problems where like just online didn't work quite as well as you would have hoped. And there have been a lot of updates to kind of get it up and running. But it is what it is. Forza Horizon 5, great game. Doesn't really need too much time spent on it in terms of talking about it. Then we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Played most of this game last year, but unlocked the final achievement during the Million stream. This game will take you roughly 15 hours to complete, as you can see in my stats. And unfortunately, you'll spend 3 or 4 hours doing the story mode and getting 100%. And then it takes about like 8 hours or so just grinding the last achievement, which is really a shame because otherwise it's a very easy and enjoyable game. But if you are looking for this final 50 Gamerscore achievement, it's not a lot of fun at all. So you can see a lot of completions and a lot of harder games as well being completed. That's kind of the thing that's been bringing me the most happiness in life, so that's kind of what you'll see for a good amount of this video. Planet of Lana, 1000 out of 1000. Now, for most people, this is only going to take 5 hours. I have 14 hours because I played this game like 3 times through. But you will have to complete the game without dying. Luckily, it's very easy to do that, as you can just basically quit out the game if you do die, and then just restart the checkpoint, and it basically forgets that you died. So you can get the flawless completion pretty easily. There's an achievement for all the other achievements, but then otherwise, you would just find all of the shrines and complete the game, and you would be as good as done in about 5 hours. This is a side-scrolling platforming adventure-type game like Limbo or Inside. I have a guide on the channel if you want to follow it and get that completion as quickly as you want. PGA Tour 2K23. I've just been looking for more golf games lately as I've started enjoying golf as a hobby in my real personal life. So I figured I'm playing a little bit of golf. I'm awful at it, but that's besides the point. I figured I would start a golf game since I haven't played a golf game in a good 10 years at least. PGA Tour 2K23 seemed to be the consensus of the best golf game available now, between that and the EA Sports Masters Tour game. So this game took me under 20 hours, I want to say. 19 hours and 15 minutes. You got to go through the entire career mode, basically win all of the FedEx Cup championships and whatnot. And there's a couple of online achievements that are super easy, a couple of miscellaneous achievements that are super easy, and then you'll also have to like level up your character to level 25, and you'll have to unlock some of the kind of rare fittings, which are basically like these little modifiers that you can equip to your clubs to make them better. If you have to basically unlock 3 legendary tier modifiers, which is pretty easy. It just takes a while, and you'll be done in no time. Now, I know I did say I play mostly good games nowadays, but sometimes we like to have fun on stream and play something like Paw Patrol Mighty Pup Save Adventure Bay. This is also a Game Pass game, so I thought it was fitting to play. It takes about 3 hours, maybe a little bit longer if you make a couple of mistakes. You'll play through the campaign mode in about 2 hours, play through all of the mini games, make sure you grab all the collectibles and the pup treats, and before you know it, you can have 1000 Gamerscore. It's not a great game, but it kind of reminded me of Super Lucky's Tale. It's like a 3D platforming game where you're just running around collecting pup treats. It's obviously designed for kids, but if you're hungry for Gamerscore and just looking for something completely different from all of the other games you're playing, this might be it. Abs Animals, this is an anti-game. I would never recommend that you go out and spend your hard-earned money on this game, but this is basically as close as it comes to paying for Gamerscore. You can pay basically $10, you load up the game, and then walk away from your console for 15 minutes. When you come back, you'll have all of the 1,000 Gamerscore. There is actually no game available within the game. It's literally just a picture of a cat, and you can spin the picture around 360, and you can't move the cat, you can't pet the cat, you can't walk around. There is no game here. It's just a cat, and if you wait for 15 minutes, you get the Gamerscore. I thought it would be hilarious to start with this game at the beginning of the stream, which is what I did. At the same time, I don't recommend you go out and buy this game, and personally, I don't believe this game should exist on the Xbox Store. This is basically just exchanging money for Gamerscore, and it's just weird to have a middleman profiting off of that, in my opinion. So it's kind of abusing the community and the Gamerscore system for profit. And in this case, the developer does say that some of the profit from this game is being donated to charity. I'm not sure how true that is, but assuming they're not lying, that, you know, it's better than nothing. But I personally don't believe games like this should exist, because what's stopping a developer from just making this game 100 times over, you know, and just basically selling Gamerscore en masse to everyone? Probably not a great future for the community if that were to become the norm. Then we have two Jackbox Party Pack games. Let's start with the bottom one, which is Jackbox Party Pack 2. I will get the 1,000 out of 1,000 in this. I have one achievement left, which is the hardest one in the game for completing the Bomb Corp mode. It's a lot of fun. It just takes like a couple of hours, and I was running out of time trying to get my Gamerscore up and ready for my million stream. So with that, I was just unlocking 50 Gamerscore at a time in these Jackbox Party Pack games. I hope to come back to them and beat them. We'll see when that happens. Under that, we have a game that I've completed a very, very long time ago in 2018. But as some of you know, there are games where you'll get the Gamerscore and you'll keep playing that game. For me, those have been games like Rainbow Six Siege, Halo Infinite, and Rocket League and PUBG. But Rocket League has been my most recent obsession. As you can see, I have 26 days, which is over 500 hours. And I've been as high as a Diamond 3 in ranked in this game, which is not amazing, but it is something I'm proud of. So Rocket League was a game that caught my recent addiction in terms of trying to rank up and be the best Rocket League player I can be. I'm still not great, but I think I've come a long way. And it's just a game I enjoy logging on to, getting achievements, getting unlocks in the Battle Pass and everything like that. Then we have a game that very recently came out. It's Quake 2. You can get the completion in this game in about an hour and a half, I want to say. Maybe even an hour if you're quick on it. As long as you're playing on the PC, because the PC has console commands, you can kind of cheat your way through some of the content to get the 1,000 Gamerscore really, really quickly. So if you do have a PC that can run Quake 2, or even if you are on Game Pass, you can cloud stream this game and run it in your PC browser. So even if you have a really bad computer, as long as you have a decent computer enough to run like Google Chrome, you can just cloud stream this game to get all the achievements pretty quick as well. So that is an option for anyone who doesn't have a gaming PC. It's also Quake 2, which is like a 25-year-old game. So if your computer can't run Quake 2, you know, you may have some other problems just generally accessing the internet nowadays. Golf Peaks, this is a puzzle game. You can do it in about 1 or 2 hours. I thought it was going to be a lot of fun, and in the early stages, World 1, 2, 3, and 4, they were pretty fun, but then the game gets kind of really complicated, and it becomes more complicated than it really has to be, and it's no longer rewarding when you figure it out. It's just kind of tedious and takes a while. So this is a game I enjoyed for a little bit, but then at the end of it, not great. It's a 1 to 2 hour completion. It's more of a puzzle game than an actual golf game. Then we have Redfall, which I only played for about 20 hours, and I have 850 out of 1,000. If you've played Redfall, you may know that a lot of the achievements are worth 17 Gamerscore, which really sucks. I have a theory that this is left over from this game originally being made to be on the PlayStation. My theory is that originally the 10 Gamerscore achievements were bronze trophies, the 17 Gamerscore achievements were silver trophies, and then there's the 35-point achievements and the 90-point achievements, which were maybe supposed to be gold trophies. And basically someone was really lazy, and instead of doing the math to figure out good achievement values, they basically just took the trophies and translated them and automatically came up with something like 17 Gamerscore. I don't know if that's true, but maybe it is. Redfall is an okay game. I think an update recently came out at near the middle of August that kind of addressed a lot of the bugs that people were complaining about. So at least now the game is probably better than when it released, but there's probably going to be more and more and more updates. And even if it's fully updated and working properly, it's just kind of one of those like 6 out of 10 games. You know what I mean? At least in my opinion. I could get the 1,000, but that would involve another 10 hours or so that I frankly do not want to play Redfall for. Then we have Grid, 1135 out of 1315. This is a whole nother story as well. I've talked about this game before, but as you can see here, I have the achievement for earning a gold medal in every single event in the career. I have 100%ed all of the content available. I've also beaten all of the DLCs, and there's an achievement here at the bottom where I have earned 6%, where you have to drive 40,000 kilometers. Even in the fastest car in the game, driving around in a circle. This is a 100-hour grind achievement. It's one of the worst achievements ever made, in my opinion, for any game I've ever played. You can get all of the other achievements in Grid in, let's see, roughly 30 hours, and then this one takes another 200 hours or so, which I think is awful achievement design personally, but maybe we'll save that for another video. I'm also missing reaching level 99. I could do that, but just based on how far away I am from this achievement, I'm just going to move on from Grid forever. The next game we have is Lego Builder's Journey, 1,000 out of 1,000 in 2 to 3 hours. We did this on stream. I really enjoyed the beginning of this game. I started enjoying it less and less and less the longer we played it, because it kind of became a little tedious to solve the puzzles instead of being fun and like exciting. It just kind of slowly trickled and died down, although it was a really good idea and it almost paid off brilliantly. This game doesn't live up to its full potential, but it is pretty cool. We then have Dead Space, 560 out of 1,000. I could get the 1,000 if I did another playthrough on the impossible difficulty using only the plasma cutter. With that being said, I'm like 40 hours in, and this is only an 8-hour game. I've played every mission like 5 or 6 times just to make all of the collectibles videos that I made for this game. So I'm just so burnt out on Dead Space that I kind of never want to play it again. But maybe in a year or 2 after I take a break from it, I'll want to come back and beat it on impossible difficulty. Just when I'm making video guides for a game and I have to play through it like 4 times, it really sucks out all of the fun of going for achievements when you're done. Then we have a recent Game Pass edition, Dordogne. This game is 2.5 hours long, and you can get the 1,000 Gamerscore if you follow my video in that 2.5 hours. It's a cute little kind of visual novel point-and-click adventure style game. I would highly recommend it if you're into those kind of games, but if you're not, it's going to be an easy skip for you. Also, easy Gamerscore on Game Pass if you want. Then we have Street Fighter 6, 905 out of 1,400. I literally only played this game for 5 hours, and I already have 900 Gamerscore. Most of that's just from like playing online, boosting achievements, and just trying to like access different types of modes. You literally get achievements for like watching replays in this game, just for interacting with the menu. I haven't done the career mode. I'm also not quite sure why it was able to launch with 1,400 Gamerscore instead of 1,000, but it is what it is. We have Halo Infinite 2020 out of 2020. That includes some of the recent achievements that came out at the end of last year for doing specific tasks in the campaign. I still enjoy Halo Infinite every now and again going online. I am almost close to 400, 500 hours here. Most of it spent just playing like ranked and trying to rank up and get Onyx online. Halo Infinite, I think, is a great game, but they are kind of struggling keeping some players. But hopefully they have a path to bring more players back in. Venba, recent Gamerscore game for Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, you can play this game for free, basically. Well, assuming you pay for Game Pass. And you can get it done in 1 hour following a video guide, which I have available on my channel. Cute game, but it's just not for me personally. I didn't really enjoy it as much as other people seem to be enjoying it. We then have Maquette. Maquette, another 1,000 out of 1,000. This game is available also on Xbox Game Pass, and you can get the 1,000 gamer score in roughly an hour, maybe a little bit longer. It is dependent on doing speedruns, so you probably will need a guide. I do have a guide on my channel. The guide is 40 minutes long, but realistically, you won't be able to just follow the guide minute for minute for minute. You'll have to kind of take little breaks and pauses. But assuming you're like decent at first-person games, it's a pretty easy and realistic completion for most people to get. Hixooonnn, it recently got an update to 3,000 gamer score, so I loaded it up and beat it. This is one of those super easy games you can buy just to grab a whole bunch of gamer score real quick. Halo 5 Forge. Let's go into this game. It says I've played it. It doesn't have tracking on it because it's a PC-only game. Also, I believe some of the games, some of these achievements are no longer achievable because they shut down certain parts of the game. But I originally started this game in 2016, and then I took a 7-year break. And after that 7-year break, I got back online, did some custom games, played with some people, completed the tutorial, and made some maps to kind of get the completion out of the way. That's been something I've been doing more and more recently, is going back to old games and completing them. Vampire Survivors, we are at 35 hours for this game. We have everything possible, including all of the DLC. Vampire Survivors is a really fun game, although maybe controversial to say. I'm not quite sure. I think it's kind of overstayed its welcome. I'm kind of sick and tired of this game, and I'd be pretty okay if they didn't add more title update achievements, but if they did, they could probably get away with adding more than like 15 gamer score per update. They should probably just like add 100 at a time or something. Then we have Crime Boss Rockay City. This game has extremely poor reputation online, but I think it's actually better than most people give it credit for. I have over 25 hours in this game. I've beaten the career mode twice. I've played a whole bunch of the online co-op mode. I've actually really enjoyed going for the achievements in this game. They're really hard and they take a really long time, and I don't think most people would enjoy this game enough to go for everything possible. It would probably take me another 50 hours to get the rest of what I don't have. But with that being said, they actually made a pretty decent game in my opinion here. It plays a lot like Payday or Payday 2, where you're doing heists with your buddies or doing heists in single player to earn cash, to fund your crime boss. You're trying to rule the city as a crime lord. We then have Golf with Your Friends. I think since I last talked about it, it's just the DLC achievements, so you know what you have here. Insurgency Sandstorm. Sorry, I'm having such a hard time talking today. I talked about this game in the last video from this series, so I'm not going to spend more time on it today. Many Faces, 2,000 of 3,000. I should probably go back and get the rest here. House of the Dead remake. I think most people consider this to be a 6 to 8 hour completion. I think it's more of a 5 to 6 hour completion, as there are some cheat codes which will let you unlock some guns that can make this game a little bit easier when you first start out. With that being said, you still will have to be pretty good at this game. You'll have to like beat the game with a certain score, beat the game in all of the different game modes, grab all of the collectibles, save all the scientists, find all the secrets. But it's a lot of fun. I used to play this game in the arcades when I was a kid, and it's cool that they brought it to the Xbox. Although I thought I would have more fun playing it with a controller. I think some of that fun was lost from when the game was playable with a light gun at the actual arcades. Next up, we have DC League of Super Pets, The Adventures of Crypto and Ace. Another kids game, another game available on Xbox Game Pass. 2 to 3 hours on this one. This is one that I thought was going to be like decently fun, like Paw Patrol, which we talked about earlier, was kind of fun. This game, on the other hand, was not fun at all. It's like an on-the-rails shooter, and after about 20 minutes, I was like, yeah, that's enough. That's enough of this game, but I stuck with it for the rest of the 2 hours to complete it. A couple of title update games that I recently went back to grab some Gamerscore in were Cake Invaders, Sanuka Attack, Project Starship, and Red Death. I don't really have much to say about these games. I'm just trying to go back and complete games that get updates. Road 96, what a fantastic little game. It was on Game Pass. I'm not sure, but it might have left Game Pass pretty recently. Started it in September 2022, and then got back into it at the end of 2022, and then again got back into it near the middle of 2023. This is a 7-hour completion for me, which I think is what most people will spend playing this game. It's a very cool and very unique game. I'd actually really recommend trying it out. It is a little bit of kind of those visual novel style of games, similar to like Life is Strange, but it's very unique, and everyone who plays it will have a different experience playing it. So that's kind of what I like about it. I would recommend it. It's very unique. Adios, which was recently a part of Games with Gold, which is no longer with us. Rest in peace, Games with Gold. You could get this game completed in under an hour with a guide available on the channel. It's like a first-person game, but it also is kind of like a visual novel. Ravenlock, really cute game by the people who brought us... what were their other games called? It's completely blanking on me at this point. I think most people are beating this game in around 5 hours. I have a video on my channel if you want to beat it in closer to 2 or 3 hours. 50 achievements, basically complete the game, unlock maximum level, get all the little collectibles around the areas. There's 18 little figurines you'll have to get. But I think you can do all the mop-ups after you beat the game if you want. It's a cute little game, action-adventure style RPG. It is lenient towards a more casual crowd, as it is quite easy. So there you go. Grounded, 2800 of 2800. This is a game where if you have an achievement world or access to an achievement world, you basically just load in and the achievements unlock for themselves. So you can go on trueachievements.com to learn more about how that works if you're unaware. Grounded is a game you can very, very, very easily complete. Trackmania Turbo, 820 out of 1,000. I saw someone playing Trackmania in a YouTube video, and I was like, I remember how much I used to love this game. I played it a lot in 2016, and then I went back in the middle of 2023 just to grab a couple of quick achievements out of the way. The completion on this game is exceptionally difficult, and you can see that by the 0.01% achievements, all that I have left pretty much. It's an incredibly difficult game to get that completion in. I'm only at, it doesn't actually say my time played. I want to say I'm at 30, 40 hours, but I think to get the final achievements, I'd probably have to invest another 100 hours into Trackmania Turbo. We then have Scorn, which I played, but I didn't enjoy as much as I wish I could have. I will go back to this game. I will get the 1000 gamer score in this game, but we'll do it when we do it, hopefully pretty soon. This is a game I definitely want to complete. It's actually not a very long game. It's probably about 3, 4, 5 hours long. I just don't really have a fun time when I play it, and so therefore I've kind of been putting it off. Plague Tale Requiem, the only thing I have left here after 20-30 hours is to go back and replay a couple of missions to fully improve my prudence and opportunism skills. Otherwise, I've beat the game, have all the collectibles, and fully leveled my aggressive playstyle. I'll go back and get the 1,000 in this, I think, one day, but we'll see if that day happens. Inscription, one of the biggest surprises, kind of, ever, because everyone says how amazing this game is, but it was only available on PC and Steam, and then I think it launched on PlayStation, and only recently did it come out to Xbox. And I planned on playing it, but I kind of didn't really think I would like it as much as others did. With that being said, I was completely shocked because Inscription is one of the best games I have ever played in my entire life. Here you can see that I started the game on the 12th, and then I stopped playing the game because there was some glitches that I was waiting for a patch. So I kind of stopped playing the game for 5 or 6 days here, and then I started playing the game again, and I completed it on the 25th. So if you were to count that, that's like 15 days minus 5 days. Like, roughly, I was only playing this game for about a week, and in that week, I put 40 hours into this game. Basically, a full-time job's worth of time into this game. It's very difficult completion. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but the Skullstorm achievement does definitely take a little bit of mastering of the game and the mechanics. I think if you're really, really good, you can beat it in closer to 20 or 30 hours. If you're struggling, you may take more like 50 or 60 hours. It requires a very specific way to play it, but it's technically a card strategy game. But kind of the less I say about it, I think the better it is. If you don't really know what you're getting into going into this game, I think you'll have a better time than if you were to know everything about it. So, in order to give you the highest potential of enjoying the game, I'm actually not going to tell you too much about it. It's a card game. Go and play Inscription. It's one of the coolest, most unique games I have ever played in my life. I give it a 5 out of 5, a 10 out of 10, any day of the week. Minecraft Legends. I don't know why it says Windows, because this is definitely the Xbox version I've been playing. I only have 180 Gamerscore out of 1,000. I've only played it for about 4 or 5 hours, most of which was spent online with friends. I had a lot of high hopes for this game, but once I started playing it, I honestly wasn't really enjoying it as much as I would have liked. I do have a better understanding of it now than I did when I originally played it. I think it is kind of cool and cute, especially if you're a Minecraft gamer, if you enjoy Minecraft a lot. I do have plans to go back to this game. I don't know if I'll ever get the 1,000 Gamerscore, but with that being said, I do hope to go back and at the very least, just beat the campaign. Maybe they will also add title update achievements one day, who knows. We then have Doom Eternal, quote-unquote, battle mode. I still can't believe they haven't changed the name of this game to anything but Doom Eternal battle mode. The only thing I did recently was I completed the Horde mode in order to get 45 Gamerscore and cross that off the list. I'm still missing one achievement in this, which is for completing the first DLC in the Extra Lives mode. Resident Evil 4, another game that has fallen victim to the fact that I made videos for it. I'm at 70 hours, which I think is not true. That's impossible. But I think if I played this game like anyone else, I'd probably have the 1,000 Gamerscore in it. But because I played through this game so many times to make video guides, I just got so incredibly sick of it. I played through every level probably 6 times just to make videos for it. So I do have to like beat the game on hard and beat the game without using a recovery item and beat the game with all the weapons and whatever. With that being said, I've played through it so many times to make videos that I am just sick of it. But it is an incredible game, and I would highly recommend playing it. And hopefully, in a year or two, when I've had a little bit of time away from Resident Evil 4, I'll go back and beat it. But we'll see if that day ever comes. Cooking Simulator, the Windows version. I think this is a Game Pass game. There was a glitch or console commands that basically came out that allow you to get the 2000 gamer score in like 5 minutes flat. I took advantage of that while it was available. I am not entirely sure, but it may or may not have been patched. I would recommend going to a website like trueachievements.com to figure out if it has been patched. If it hasn't been, you just install the game, go inside, and you'll have 2000 gamer score in a matter of a few minutes. Next up, Wolong Fallen Dynasty. I'm only halfway through the game. I ended up just getting a little bit bored of it. It is similar to Sekiro, which is a compliment to it. But after 20 hours, I wasn't really enjoying the gameplay loop as much as I could have, and frankly, there were other games I would rather play. I think Resident Evil came out not long after this game, so that's what I ended up kind of playing instead. It is a good game. It seems like they have some new DLC achievements here at the bottom, probably. Yeah, these are probably DLC achievements. So I guess there's DLC for this game. It is really great. But if you're looking for a game like Wolong, just go play Sekiro. Atomic Heart, only 15 gamer score. I wish I never started this game. There's so much to talk about with this game that I don't know where to start. First off, playing this game kind of in an indirect way is supporting Russia in the Russia-Ukraine war. I don't want to explain all of it, but there's this kind of like weird money exchanging happening between like the Russian government and this developer, and if this game is successful, that money goes back to Russia, which then funds the war. So it just kind of felt like weird to play this game. At the same time, the game was like incredibly glitchy, and I just wasn't having like fun playing it. The achievements were absolutely dreadful to get. There was collectibles, and there were all the collectibles were missable. There was no way to track the collectibles. My intention originally was to make video guides for it, but after playing it, I just decided to move on. I may or may not go back to it just to kind of see what I'm missing out on. It is a part of Game Pass, so we'll see what the future holds. But for the time being, I'm not sure if Atomic Heart is a game that I care to play more of. We will see. Signalis is available as a part of PC Game Pass, and there are some console commands / cheat codes available to let you get the 1000 gamer score in I think like 30 or 40 minutes. I don't think it's going to have a time on it because I played it on PC. Oh, apparently 1 hour. So maybe you could get the 1000 gamer score in about an hour. You will have to follow a guide though. Shadow Warrior 3 recently came out on Xbox Game Pass. I had it for a while, and near the near the beginning of the year, I decided to go and play through this game. In a matter of like 4 days, I want to say, I went through and beat the entire game, got the 1000 gamer score in under 10 hours. I did post a collectibles guide if you want to play Shadow Warrior 3 on Game Pass. If I were to review Shadow Warrior 3, I would just say it's basically a slightly less good version of Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal is a great game, so it is a compliment to be compared to Doom Eternal. At the same time, it tries to be a little bit of a comedy game, and I just don't find it very funny, so I skipped all of the cutscenes. So it is what it is. Shadow Warrior 3, there's some good gameplay in there, but it's not the best game you'll ever play for sure. Next up, Hitman 3. I have the original kind of base achievements you can get in this game, which I've played for 70 hours, which I think is probably accurate. I have all of the base achievements. I have all of the achievements for Hitman 3, and then I have all of the achievements for like Hitman 2 DLC. The way this game works is that if you played Hitman 1 and Hitman 2, you can kind of move your save forward into Hitman 3, and then it'll automatically unlock some achievements for you, which is what happened here for a lot of these achievements unlocked on the 24th of January. But the achievements I'm missing are for things I've already done in other Hitman games. I just didn't feel like replaying all of Hitman 1 inside of Hitman 3, which is why I'm missing a bunch of these kind of achievements that I actually already did. So these are kind of just repeat achievements that are available as a part of a title update. With that being said, Hitman 3, incredible game. If you can get into it and you have access to the Hitman 1, Hitman 2, and Hitman 3 content inside of here, there's also been a bunch of like online updates. There's like new game modes and a safe house mode. All of that looks incredibly cool. There's also some Hitman sniper missions. There's so much content in Hitman 3 that you can easily get 70 hours worth of fun out of it. After Hitman 3, we have Hitman 2, which is just a precursor to me taking my Hitman 2 content into Hitman 3 and getting those achievements to unlock. So I only have 1450 out of 2600. The achievements I'm missing in Hitman 2 are the ones from Hitman 1, which I already did. So this is what I kind of mean by there's like these weird repeat achievements for redoing stuff you've already done. So I did Hitman 1. I didn't want to have to redo Hitman 1 inside of Hitman 2, and I didn't want to have to redo Hitman 2 inside of Hitman 3, which is why you see these weird gaps of achievements missing. Akinolfa, 3,000 out of 4,000. Easy Gamerscore game, I wouldn't recommend. Mushroom Savior, 4,000 out of 4,000. Easy Gamerscore game, I wouldn't recommend. You can play these games for a couple of minutes to get the achievements in them. Overwatch 2, a game that I started playing when they started, when Overwatch 2 came out, which was near the end of 2022. I'm at 14 days of content, which is roughly 300 hours. And I actually really enjoyed the Overwatch 2 kind of relaunch. I will say I have 2320 out of 2575. All of the achievements I have in Overwatch 2, I have done completely legit. I did not boost any of these achievements, but the ones that I have left are so impossibly hard that I may go out and boost them, and I may actually get to 100% in this game. We'll see in the future. Genesis Noir was an easy original 1000 Gamerscore, but they recently added some updates to allow for 210 extra Gamerscore, which is pretty cool. Flasco Mill, 4,000 out of 4,000, easy Gamerscore. Paper Flight, Super Speed Dash, Paper Flight, Speed Rush, Space Rogue-like Adventure, all three easy, super easy games. Probably only took a matter of minutes. High on Life, 895 out of 1,000. I would have went for the 1,000 Gamerscore in this game, but unfortunately, this achievement was glitched when I played the game at launch. It has since been updated and now correctly works, but in order to get it, you have to start the game from the very beginning, and that's not something I'm interested in doing because I spent a lot of time getting all of the lug boxes, editing videos of all of the lug boxes. I, like some other games I talked about, when I spend too much time creating content, editing videos, recording videos, doing voiceovers for a game, I get sick of that game. High on Life was one of those games where I spent 35 hours playing the game, probably another 35 hours editing content for that game, and I'm just sick and tired of it, and I don't want to have to restart my playthrough from the beginning to get the final achievements I'm missing. Hello Neighbor 2, it's on Game Pass. You can get the 1,000 Gamerscore in an hour. I have a video available for it. Among Us got some recent, more recent title update achievements, which I played a little bit of. Maybe I'll go back and get it to 100%, but I'm not sure. Callisto Protocol, I have the original 1000, which was really fun to get. I had a really great time. Since then, they've added 540 Gamerscore, and it is some of the most miserable Gamerscore to get ever. And what I mean by that is the game is like 6 to 8 hours long. I think they recently did add the ability to skip cutscenes, which is good. It makes it a little bit shorter. But basically, every single achievement, you have to play through the game an entire time. So if you play through the game a second time, you'll get New Plus. And then a third time, you can do it in Hardcore. A fourth time, you can get Hardcore New Game Plus. And then a fifth time, you can play it in Contagion. You can do Contagion without dying. And like each one of these achievements is basically just playing through the game again, which is kind of miserable. They did unlock a Final Transmission DLC mode, which sounds pretty cool. It's just not something I found a lot of time to do recently. Formula Bit Racing DX, I felt like playing a racing game, and I got 1,000 Gamerscore in it. It doesn't take a very long time. Only 17 minutes, which is definitely a very easy completion. Somerville, 1000 out of 1000. Somerville was November 2022. Pretty easy completion. You can get done in under 3 hours as long as you follow a guide, which I have available on my channel. Ollie Ollie World, the most underrated game I have ever played. This game is close to being a masterpiece, yet nobody knows it exists. I'd easily give it a 9 out of 10. It has some very difficult achievements and then some that are almost flat out impossible. I'm sure there'll be, you know, a couple here at like 0.01 or whatever, 0.1%. These are all very difficult, and I've spent over 25 hours in this game. Probably another 30 hours just to get those final achievements. A couple of games, 7 Days of Rose and Devoured by Darkness, super easy completions. I did recently go back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. You can, if you play on PC, you can get the 1,000 hours, 500 hours, 100 hours achievements by basically tricking your Windows into thinking that you time traveled. So those achievements I didn't really get in a legit way. But I did do a whole bunch of legit achievements. I did like 50 hours of flying. I completed a bunch of tutorials. I used a bunch of different planes, but I had a really great time going back into Microsoft Flight Simulator. I do play it on PC, and I have an entire Flight Simulator setup, so that does influence how much fun I am having. And they recently released a bunch of updates to Canadian cities, which is why I was checking it out in the first place. According to my stats, I've played it for close to 100 hours, which is 100 hours of like legit gameplay. That's how much I like Flight Simulator. With that being said, the 1000 gamer score in this game actually is not possible anymore because they removed some content. And even if it was, it is incredibly difficult. I've talked about how difficult the completion is in this game before. It's so difficult to get this completion that you'd be better off just spending that time and becoming an actual certified licensed pilot. The amount of time and energy it takes to getting 1,000 in this game, you would be better off going to a pilot school and becoming a pilot. The Entropy Center, a great first-person shooter puzzle game that plays similar to games like Portal. I am about halfway through it, and I stopped playing it as one of the collectibles glitched on me, and I was kind of disappointed. So maybe I'll go back and complete this game. Resident Evil Village, I have the original 1000, plus a couple of the DLC achievements. I do have to play the DLC mode, which I forget what it's called. I know it's called the Winter's Expansion, and I believe the mode is called Shadows of Rose. So if I can beat the Shadows of Rose mode on the hardcore difficulty, I would have the rest of the achievements in Resident Evil Village. I do plan on playing that. Easy Game Airy, Metal Hellsinger, cool game on Xbox Game Pass. I beat it. When I beat it, it was a pretty tough completion, and it took me apparently 9 hours. At this point in time, there is a cheat code that you can basically use. It's actually an accessibility menu option, but if you enable it, the game basically plays the hard part for you, and then you just have to walk around and beat it. So it's a lot easier to beat it now than it was when I did it. You can probably do it in like 3 or 4 hours now. Tinykin, which is a little bit of a hidden gem on Game Pass. I did it in about 7 hours. I think most people are doing it in about 8 hours. And this is a kind of like a Pikmin style game. It's a 3D platforming game where you are walking around, solving puzzles, getting little helpers to come with you, and exploring the map. A NASA Space Science Investigations game. This game is free, and you can get 1,000 gamer score in it in, I want to say, 30 minutes. And I do have a video available on my channel. It's basically a game that lets you tour the International Space Station. The Gunk, 1,000 out of 1,000. I did it in 4.5 hours. I think it's usually a 6-hour game for most people. It's another hidden gem, I think, in Game Pass, although I think more people have experienced this game than some of the other games I've talked about. It's a really cool and unique game. It's actually an Xbox exclusive. Crossfire X I've talked about before. Don't need to talk about it again. Roller Champions. I'm at 75 hours, or even more than that, almost 80 hours or above. And this game is not great. It's probably a 3 out of 5, but for some weird reason, I really like it. But it's not good. It's not a good game. It just reminds me of games like Rocket League and Knockout City, where you're rollerblading around a rink and you're trying to catch a ball and dunk the ball into a hoop. It's actually really unique, but all the people who play this game online are like extremely good and extremely selfish players who ruin the game for everybody else. So I could never recommend this game because there's a lot of the community just kind of makes it not fun to play. Lab Crisis is easy gamer score. Apex Legends is on here. I'm not sure why. My Mate, Colorful Color are just title updates. We then have Match Point Tennis, Championships. I originally started playing this game in July, and then I beat it in July. So I did it within a month, and I took 15 hours. So when this game originally came out, some achievements were glitched. Then they patched those glitched achievements, but they broke other achievements. I got lucky, and I was able to get all the achievements done with the old glitches and the new glitches. I kind of got lucky and ended up with the 1,000. I'm not sure how the game is now, but there is like a platinum trophy style achievement, which is at 0.08%. So it's a pretty rare completion. It's a pretty fun game, but it's very easy to figure out how the AI plays and just take advantage of it and basically win every single match very easily, even on the harder difficulties. We have Escape Academy, which is on Xbox Game Pass, and it is a pretty easy completion. You can do in about an hour and a half. I do have a video available to you if you want to watch it. It is a first-person escape room style game, and it is pretty fun. You can play it naturally and just get most of the gamer score and then mop up after. You can play it in co-op, which a lot of people have enjoyed as well. I think I'm going to have a lot more hours. I have 10 hours in it. That's just because of the guide making. But I think most people are going to do that game in about an hour with a guide or in 4 hours without a guide. As Dusk Falls is Microsoft's attempt at a game similar to Life is Strange. I have 35 hours, but that is vastly exaggerated as I was making videos for it. I think most people are going to be able to do this game in 8 hours or less with all of the available guides that are out there on the internet now. You shouldn't have too many problems figuring out how to do all of the different paths and figure out everything you can possibly do in that game now. We have Descenders, possibly one of my best completions of all time. You can see all of these achievements are at like 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, and 0.00, 0.08, 0.02, 0.02, 0.07. And the funny thing is that I actually did this game when it was really hard, but it's actually gotten some updates that have made it slightly easier, because there's a 0-point achievement right here for unlocking the whoopee cushion. When I did this achievement, it was basically a random achievement that could unlock after 1 hour or could unlock after 200 hours. Now it's pretty much guaranteed to unlock after 50 hours as long as you're decently good, and can unlock a lot more easily than it used to. So it's a lot easier of a completion than it used to be, but it's still extremely, extremely difficult and requires a decent amount of skill. Not a lot of people have that game completed, and I have the 1500. Going from one of the hardest games I've ever done to one of the easiest games I've ever done, my friend Peppa Pig, 1000 out of 1000. There's not much to say here. This game was recently on Xbox Game Pass. I think they actually took it off of Xbox Game Pass because it has been more than a year. And so you can no longer do it unless you pay for it, but I think it's $50. You can get this game done in about an hour just by playing the game naturally. It's made for children, so it's obviously going to be pretty easy. From there, we move to Fall Guys, 1000 out of 1000. Fall Guys came out, and I was really excited to play this game. I played it quite a bit, started it in June, and then finished it up in July when they released the last type of item I needed to complete the game. I do have 35 hours in it, which I played naturally with friends. Very fun game to play naturally and just have fun in when it originally came out, but it's one of those games where you'll play it, you'll beat it, you'll have your fun, and then you'll probably move on to another game. The Quarry, very cool game from the people who brought us games like House of Ashes, The Devil in Me, and Man of Medan. It's a kind of story-based game similar to Until Dawn. Same people made it. And you'll get a lot of achievements just beating it, completing the epilogue, but there are also a lot of collectibles you'll need to grab along the way. You do require at least 2 or 3 playthroughs, each playthrough lasting about 8 hours. I have 25 hours, which is probably not realistic for most people. I think you can probably get the 1000 Gamerscore in 25 hours now that all the guides are out and people have figured out how to do everything. But a really cool game that I really enjoyed playing through 2 times. And unfortunately, it's basically after you beat it 1 or 2 times, it's more or less like you're sitting through a 5-hour movie that you already know the answers to. So it's just not a game I felt like playing anymore. Renzo Racer, Blaze of the Monster Machine, Axle City Racers, Bolotron, Dr. Oil, Limb Hunter, Blow and Fly, Psycho Duck, Will Die Alone. All of those games, super duper easy gamer score that you can get done in like 8 minutes. So those are just games that I did at some point to get a whole bunch of gamer score added to my overall gamer score. We then have Cuphead DLC, which I did at the end of at the beginning of July 2022, at the end of June 2022. Cuphead DLC was a lot of fun. It was great to go back to the game. It's weird though, it took them 5 years to make this DLC, and I think you can beat it in like 3 hours. So it is what it is. Great game. I wish they just put out more content more regularly. eFootball is a free game that you can play. You can get 1000 gamer score in an hour and a half. So I was doing some research for a easiest free games video, and eFootball 2023 was on that list. To the Moon and Beyond, another decently easy and free game. It costs $0 and 0 cents, and you can get the 1000 gamer score. And I want to say like an hour or 2. Yeah, about 2 hours for me. Maybe less for you if you're better at the game than me. I think this is a card game, a strategy game about space. A Short Hike. This game is fantastic. It recently came out to Xbox Game Pass, but I beat it in 2022 in about 3 hours. Highly recommend playing this game if you have the chance. It's a fantastic game to just sit back, relax, and enjoy. You can beat it, and then you can mop up the achievements afterwards. Fantastic little game. High recommendations. We have the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, 1000 gamer score in this. I used this achievement to break 900,000, and then I idled my console for 24 hours to get this achievement. Cool little completion out of the way. We then have Riders Republic, 700 out of 1000. This game has uneven gamer score achievements that are worth like 32. So I just ended up evening out my gamer score at 700, and I didn't want to risk unlocking another gamer score or achievement that ends in a 2 or a 6. So for now, I put this game on the back burner, and I may complete it one day, but realistically, I don't think I'm ever going back to it. We then have a couple of easy games. 4 Kings Video Poker. I had a little bit of a phase where I wanted to learn more about poker. I do know the rules, obviously, but I wanted to get a little bit better at it. I thought video poker would be a good way to do that. This game is very basic, though, and it is a very easy completion. It's the easiest poker game available on Xbox. After an hour and a half, I had my 1000 gamer score. But if you enjoy poker, you want some easy gamer score, video poker isn't like the worst game ever, but there's definitely better poker games out there. Divination Console Edition, 5 minutes for 1000. Vampire the Masquerade Shadows of New York, 20-minute visual novel, if I remember correctly. And then the last game we're talking about during this video is Unpacking. I want to say you can get the 1000 gamer score in this game in about an hour and a half. It's very easy and very chilled and laid back. Fun little game to play. I do have a video on my channel, which I think has like 300,000 views or something like that. So definitely a lot of people playing Unpacking, and it's a fun little game to do. And that is what I played from 900,000 to 1 million Gamerscore. Everything under here, you're free to add me on Xbox and check out my profile. Become one of my friends. I do have a 17-year badge as well as an Xbox Ambassador badge here on my profile, which I think is pretty cool. But feel free to add me on Xbox. Follow me. You can go over to my gaming. You'll see me on your friends list, on your Gamerscore leaderboard. You can compare games with me, and you can go and see everything I've ever played, ever. You can scroll down all the way to the bottom and even see the games I played on Xbox 360 eventually. Once you scroll down far enough, I think I have 1,100 games played. If we were to go through all 1,000 games I've played, I think it would be a 10-hour video at this point. You can see I'm still scrolling, and we still haven't even hit the Xbox 360, which was 10 years ago. And I have a couple hundred games on the 360 as well. So there we go. We're starting to get some 360 games littered here in between some other games. You guys get the drill. Actually, I think at a certain point, the Xbox doesn't even know. It forgets the games you have. There are more games under this, by the way. It just doesn't even have them on here anymore. Forza Horizon 2 demo. Titanfall 1. Halo 4. A bunch of crazy games at the bottom of the list. But thank you guys so much for watching the video of some of the games I used to get to 1 million Gamerscore. I enjoy making videos like this every now and again, even though I don't hunt Gamerscore like I used to in terms of easy achievements. It's fun to indulge in the hobby every now and again, just for a little bit of casual fun. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like, share the video with a friend. A special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. And hopefully I'll see you soon. Peace.